It's Thursday, the 22nd of May, 2025. Good morning. Welcome. The news on Wake Up Nigeria. I'm Mike Messikeno. The federal government has taken a major step towards boosting affordable housing with the inspection of a 753-unit estate recovered by the EFCC and linked to former governor of the CBN, Godwin Emefiele. Minister of Housing Ahmed Dangiwa and Chairman of the EFCC Ola Olukoyede led a joint team on a physical inspection of the site following a directive by President Bola Tinubu. The minister announced that technical assessments, including integrity tests, will begin immediately. Once certified, the housing units will be completed and sold to Nigerians via the renewed Hope portal. Mr. Dangiwa emphasized the government's commitment to transparency and accountability, urging public officials to shun corruption. The FCC chairman stressed the importance of the visit, saying it underscores the Commission's transparency and seriousness in asset recovery. The estate is now set to be integrated into the National Social Housing Program. The Nigerian Senate is taking a strong stance on public health, national security and labor regulation. The lawmakers take steps to criminalize the chemical ripening of fruits to calls for a military base in Adamawa State and the formalization of informal sector employment. TVC News senior reporter Tijesu Adeoye has details.
The Senate's chamber once again served as a platform for urgent national debate, this time over rising concerns about the chemical ripening of fruits, a practice that experts say is endangering lives. Senator Annie Anthony Okori, representing Ebonyi South, raised the motion, warning that chemicals like calcium carbide, commonly used to ripen fruits, are toxic and have been linked to cancer, kidney failure, and other life-threatening conditions.
Many of these fruit sellers are ignorant of the health hazards posed by consumption of artificially ripened fruits.
The Senate resolved to urge NAFDAC, the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, and the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission to investigate the trend.
If we don't send people to jail, this practice will not stop.
In another development, the Senate addressed the resurgence of Boko Haram fighters in the northeast. Lawmakers debated a motion calling for the establishment of a military base in Hong local government area of Adamawa State.
No proactive action taken, the Boko Haram insurgency is capable of spreading to wider communities in the north and beyond.
Nigerian military is overstretched, and most of the equipment and personnel were redeployed to the northwest.
Meanwhile, the Senate also took steps towards regulating the informal jobs sector by passing for second reading a bill sponsored by Senator Mohammed Sani Musa. The bill targets the employment of domestic workers, apprentices, and interns.
Many jobs in the informal labor market in Nigeria still experience decent work deficit.
Also, a bill for an act to establish the Federal University of Health Sciences, Fontua, Katsina State, scaled second reading.
I want to sincerely appreciate the effort of Mr. President and Commander-in-Chief, who graciously give Fontua Zone this very important university.
As the Senate continues to tackle issues from health to security and labor rights, all eyes are on how quickly these resolutions will translate to real change for Nigeria. Tijesu Adeoye, TVC News, Abuja.
South African President Cyril Ramaphosa says he came to Washington, D.C. to reset the relationship between his country and the United States. President Ramaphosa disputed President Donald Trump's claim that white South Africans are suffering genocide in the country during their meeting in the Oval Office. According to him, if there was Afrikaner farmer genocide, the three gentlemen in his delegation will not be here, including my Minister of Agriculture. President Ramaphosa asked President Trump to listen to their stories and perspective. President Trump and several members of his administration, including South Africa-born advisor Elon Musk, have claimed that the South African government is persecuting its white minority. South Africa has strenuously denied the claims. Trump said he hoped to receive an explanation from South Africa's president of his country's approach to racial equity laws that he claimed amount to genocide of whites. And then on to a sporting update. Ange Postecoglou has delivered on his trophy promise with Tottenham after beating Manchester United in the Europa League final. The scrappy goal claimed by Brennan Johnson was enough to see off the Red Devils and end Spurs' 17-year trophy drought. The victory secures their first piece of silverware since winning the League Cup in 2008. It has also secured qualification for next season's Champions League despite sitting 17th in the Premier League. The win fulfilled the promise made by Tottenham manager Postecoglou back in September when he said he always would win a trophy in his second season at any club. Despite a disappointing league campaign, he has now lived up to that claim 8 months later. It is the third time Spurs have won the competition after previous victories in 1972 and 1984. Now, head coach Eric Schell has unveiled 2 separate Super Eagles squads for Nigeria's upcoming international assignments, the Unity Cup tournament in London and a friendly against Russia in Moscow. The list was made public by the Nigerian Football Federation on Wednesday, but key forwards Victor Osimhen and Ademola Lookman were absent. 3 goalkeepers have been invited. Maduka Okoye makes a return to the team and joins Stanley Nwabali and Amas Obasoji. 4 defenders from the Nigerian Premier Football League made the final cut. Junior Nduka and Ismail Sadiq of Vremo Stars, Ifeanyi Onyebuchi of Rangers and Waliu Ojetoye of Ikorodu City were called up alongside already established Bruno Oyemachi and Shemilo Ajayi. In midfield, 3 domestic league players were considered. Papa Daniel of Niger Tornadoes, Xavier Isaac and Collins Ugweze of Rangers made the team. Other midfielders are Hetafe player Crisanto Suche, Frank Oyeka and Wilfred Ndidi of Leicester City. Veteran Ahmed Musa returns to the Super Eagles attack. He is joined by Moses Simon, Kelechi Iheanacho, Nathan Tella, Tolu Arokodare, Cyril Dessus, Samuel Chukwueze and the MPFL duo of Sikiru Alimi and Adamu Abubakar. The Unity Cup will kick off on Tuesday, the 27th of May. Now that's it on Sporting Stories and the news. We'll take a recess. Stay with us. We'll be back in a jiffy.